Aaron Whitlow here. YouTube, Facebook, Google Plus, all social media platforms. How are you doing today? Twitter. My name is Aaron Whitlow, and today I'm doing a movie review. I'm reviewing my top 10 recent horror films. When I say recent, I mean within the past few years. I wanted to, I'm a horror fan, so I'm fans of like the old school Michael Myers, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Child's Play, Candyman, things like that. Night of the Living Dead, Return of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, things like that. But I wanted to explore the more modern films that was released within the last few years that I consider instant classics. And so this is my list, my opinion. My opinion may differ from yours. But I will put one quick honorable mention, and it's the movie The Wailing. It's a South Korean horror film dealing with ghosts, benevolent spirits, evil spirits, and possession. A small village in South Korea is under an attack from a supernatural force. People are going crazy, burning houses down, murdering people, things like that. And there's a Japanese stranger that lives in town, and so on a social study platform, it's dealing mainly also with how you view different races. So it has that in that commentary as well. But yeah, this is an honorable mention only. Check it out. It's a long movie, but it's a good movie. It's well worth the watch, so you should check it out. But let's jump into number 10. Number 10 on the list is The Girl with All the Gifts. It is a zombie film that came out a few years ago. It's a different take of a zombie film where children carry this zombie disease, if you will, that that's passed to them, and they are in these like little concentration type of camps, and people are trying to control and study and really find a cure for. But I don't want to give away the movie, but it centers on this one little girl who is very she does a great job. She's very engaging. And she's very smart, intelligent, picks up on things. And man, it's a journey. I would consider it a coming of age type of horror film. The Girl with All the Gifts, number 10. Check it out if you if you can. Let's see. My number 9 movie on the list was made, I believe, last year, and it is It. Stephen King's It, this newer adaptation of the film. I cannot wait for the sequel to come out. But this movie is it's great. I enjoyed the made-for-television film. I enjoyed the earlier part of it more than I enjoyed as the adults. But in looking at the listen to the audiobook, I could see more of the made-for-television portion of it within the audiobook within the made-for-television portion of it than I did in the actual film adaptation. But nevertheless, the film adaptation re-imaging of it is great. Bill Skarsgård, I was so skeptical of him as Pennywise because Tim Curry did a phenomenal job in the original made-for-television version, and so. But Bill Skarsgård knocked it out the park. He did it. He was creepy. He took a character and made it different. It's as if someone else did take the mantle of Freddy Krueger from Robert Englund, but he didn't make it his own. I felt like he was more in costume playing Freddy Krueger versus his version of Freddy. And and same can be said for Kane Hodder. His portrayal of Jason Voorhees is different from Ken Kersinger, I believe it's the name. I'm sorry if I got his name wrong, but much differently. But Bill Skarsgård took what Tim Curry did and flipped it on his head and did his own thing, much like Heath Ledger did with the Joker. But that movie is so great. It's more like a modern take on, in my opinion. This is just my opinion, and no one else really caught on this, I don't think. But it's like a modern take on Freddy Krueger and Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh man, it's surreal. It's great. It makes you look at the background, see what's going on in the background, pay attention to everything. It's great. So that is why that's the number 9 on my list. Number 8 on my list is a Netflix original. It's called Gerald's Game. It's another Stephen King adaptation. It's about a lady who goes on a trip with her husband, like a getaway to like a remote wooded cabin home, and just to spark the flame of fire in their relationship again. But things happen. Things don't go according to plan. Trouble ensues. I don't want to give it away, but it's a very claustrophobic type of film. You feel very claustrophobic watching it. You feel it's very engaging. You couldn't really look away from it. Excellent film. I know it's playing a lot, but it's a really great film. I recommend you see it. It's on Netflix, man. If you have Netflix streaming service, check it out. Gerald's Game. You would not regret it. Number 7 on my list is A Quiet Place. John Krasinski, I think it's the name. I probably butchered his name. I apologize if I did. Man, this film is very captivating. Seeing him and his family trying to survive in a time frame. In this film, just a little synopsis, small synopsis. It takes place in a world where, much like today's time and frame, but imagine your life changed because of a creatures coming and taking over the world, and so fast forward, 6 months, 2 years, whatever. Fast forward, and how do you now survive in this type of scenario? And you see this family doing. It's like let's zoom in on a family trying to survive on a Tuesday, years or months later after the initial attack. Go, and there you have it. You are there in the midst of it and seeing what they're doing to survive, and the stakes. Oh my goodness, it's such a great movie. It's almost all quiet, like as far as like how they play off of one another, how they use ASL. It's great. Hats off to this director, to this writer, to this film. Man, I don't want to give anything away. Please check it out. It's well worth the watch. A Quiet Place is number 7. Number 6 is a film that put me in the mind of Halloween. But also put me in the mind of Creepshow, which is one of my favorite one of my favorite films that have sections. Right now, please put in comments the name of that type of film. I might remember it while I'm talking. But the film that I'm referring to is Trick or Treat. It has 4 different stories and it talks about the rules to survive Halloween. Everything is linked. Everything works off one another. This movie is great. It introduces a new horror icon, if you will, by the name of Sam Hain. A little, small demon that enforces the laws and rules of All Hallows Wing, Halloween. Man, wow, what a great little film. Um, everything about this film is great. And the film is not afraid to go places where most films today will not go. This film is not afraid to go to those places, and it's just one of those great films that if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. If you have it or you have seen it, then probably you want to add it to your Blu-ray or DVD collection. Such a great film. Let's move on to the top 5. Number 5 is a film called Witch, or The Witch. VVITCH, Witch. It takes place in a colonial period with this family that is trying to survive, but also dealing with strange phenomenon happening around their property concerning a witch and a goat. Oh my goodness, this film is it's a slow burn type of film, but the film is an excellent film nonetheless. I don't want to give anything away. Well acted. The parents was great. The leading lady in this film was great. Such an excellent film. I would so recommend you watch it. Jumping down to number 4, it's a Netflix original. It's called The Ritual. The Ritual is about a group of friends that goes hiking to this, mountaintop or whatnot, to in memory of a fallen comrade, a brother, a friend. And instead of a situation happens that forces them to not go their original route back down the mountain, but instead cut through like a shortcut through the woods, and that is their mistake. This film, cinematically, it's breathtaking. Why do I say that? The way that it goes between a dream realm to reality is great. It's so smart. You could be in a convenience store in this film, and then go through one section and you see woods behind, like where you usually see like chips or something like that, or walls. You'll see the woods or stuff like that. Oh my goodness, this film is great. The ending is great. It's one of those things where you want to go and watch and see, like Found Flicks or something, to see how the ending is and explaining it. Such a great film. I would recommend you check it out. Number 3 on the list is The Babadook. The Babadook is a film about this mother who's over her head, dealing with the loss of her husband, trying to raise his son, who is, I would consider the son in this film special needs. That's my dog's barking. But anyway, wait a minute. Hush, dogs. All right, it's Halloween time. So anyway, the Babadook is about this woman who is trying to raise her son, and she finds a mysterious book to read to him as a bedtime story called The Babadook. But it's more psychological. Is there really a Babadook, or is there really this creature guy, or is it really just her insanity and her sanity leaving her? Oh my goodness, this film is a great film. Much like my dogs were acting crazy, this lady can act crazy. You should check this film out. And let's get to the bottom 2, though. Number 2 is It Follows. It Follows is a film that is heavy 80s inspired. It's about this demon that follows people, specific people who've had sex with one another, and it attaches and latches onto them and follows them. It can appear to be someone you know, or someone random, a homeless person, old lady, a child, whatever, and it will follow you until it gets you, and if it gets you, it will kill you in the most horrific way. This film is great. It's a great narrative on casual sex and the dangers of that. I don't know if it meant to do that, but that's what I got from it. Man, it's a great film. I do recommend you watch it. I don't want to spoil anything, but It Follows is an excellent, excellent film. Number one film on my list is a South Korean film, and it's called Train to Busan. This is a modern zombie film that takes place mostly entirely on this train to Busan, South Korea. But it's so claustrophobic. The characters are interesting. The father was interesting. The son is interesting. The things you do to survive is interesting. Class systems. It deals with class systems. Man, this movie is so good. Let me tell you how good this movie is. I have Netflix. I am a Netflix subscriber. I have this movie is still currently 2018, still on Netflix. I bought this movie on Blu-ray because that movie is that good. It's that good. I recommend you check it out. Once you check it out, I assume you're gonna buy it. Tell your friends about it. Train to Busan. Excellent film. That is the top 10 of modern horror movies. I'm going to do some more top 10 lists. Please let me know what you think. Now this dog is acting crazy. Aaron Whitlow. See you later.